Morning, Queen. I am Lady Queen I Am, and I'm gonna help you deliver something you've been pregnant with for a long time. You see, the body has limitations, but the mind doesn't. If you can transform your mind from being conformed, then you can deliver your purpose and allow the world to see the greatness in you. See, you can't think like everyone else does. You can't do the same things they do. It takes discipline and dedication to be a part of that 1% that succeeds and reaches its full potential. You keep asking yourself, when is it my turn? When will I get my break? Well, let me ask you a question. What are you willing to go through? Are you willing to have sleepless nights because you have to work a little harder? When the other 99% is playing it safe and being comfortable and working the 9 to 5, making someone else's business successful. That's not the life God intended for you. You have to be willing to wake up before everyone else does. You have to be willing to go to bed after everyone else does. You have to be willing to give up fear. You can't be afraid to run up to the edge of the cliff and jump. Understand, when your feet hit the ground running, it's only to gain momentum to take flight. And turbulence is the price you pay for flying high. Hear this, change your mind, change your life. Now look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am powerful. I am worthy of success. I am whatever I want to be. And all I have to do is change my mind. I am. Hello, and welcome, Queens. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. You guys know how much I love you. I am your girl, Shamika, also known as Lady Queen I Am, but you can call me Lady Queen. We are going to talk today about some very, very important stuff. So what I need you to do real quick, you know when somebody comes out on stage, how you clap, right? Well, there's really no way for me to be able to to see that you're clapping. So what I need you to do is tap to clap. The way you do that is you press the heart button and you tap that heart button, and that lets me know that I'm not the only one in the building. So tap to clap, tap to clap. Then the next thing I need you to do is go ahead and share this to every platform that you're associated with. When I tell you share it to your groups, share it to your pages, let them know that we've gone live. Let them know that we're about to break bread, because there's some important information that I need to get to you that I can't, hold to myself. It do us a disservice to hold it to myself. That would not be ladylike, that would not be Christian-like. And I want to let you know about it. I have to let you know about it. So that's what I'm going to do today. So that's what I need you to do really quick. Go ahead and share to every platform, share to every page, share to every group. Let them know that we've gone live, okay? Let them know we're going live. As you saw, title, I really wanted, like I said, to bring this forth. I really wanted to bring, because the fact is, I really see an opportunity for not only people just like me to prosper, but young people, older people, that never had a chance of the wealth. I'm not just talking about going from paycheck to paycheck. I'm not just talking about getting enough just to live off of, but I'm talking about wealth. I'm talking about true wealth. A lot of times I get on here and y'all already know, definitely motivating y'all spiritually to do what's right, as far as taking the word of God and applying it to your life so that you can live your best life. Well, in order to do that, I had to bring on this queen right here. I had to bring on this queen because you know what? Like when I tell you, I was like, look, I got to get her on. This is a busy, busy woman right here. When I tell you she's a multiple 7-figure queen, like she's just talking, she's doing the work, she's putting in the work. And then just the fact that she, even continues to reach back. And when we talked, right, she was just so help me do exactly what she's already put in place, right? So I was excited about that. I was excited because I was like, man, someone like her reaching back and hey, I want to help you and I want to help you. If you're willing to grind, she's willing to help. She is a wife of one, a mother of 5. She's a busy woman, but still handling business. Do you hear me? She's a busy woman, but still handling business. And like when I tell you, this is my new sister. This is, and then the fact that, she is a woman of God, really blessed my heart. But this is my new sister, our new sister. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome this queen in the building really quick. Make some noise on that. Let's go. Let's go. Make some noise because that's what it's about, right? That's what it's about. Let me introduce you to my new sister. This is a true queen that's handling business. That's handling business. What's up, sis?
Today is such a good day. You know how we start our days. Me and my husband had amazing opportunity to spend some time with some like-minded individuals online this morning. And ever since just being able to spend that time in fellowship, like the first part of your day, getting your mind right, setting your spirit and your intentions for the day, it just is such a blessing because since then, just amazing things are happening. You know, the world that I'm in and the increase that this season is bringing. And sometimes I just have to sit in gratitude. I was literally on a call right now on Clubhouse with Dr. Jewel Tanker, Dr. China Bethley. And what we do every Wednesday is we host a room where we help women who've never, ever invested in this world ever before or had these conversations. Maybe just the idea of using new platforms is scary to them, like that entry level, that woman who's even scared to admit how much she doesn't know. So we create these rooms to try to answer questions, demystify the conversation of wealth. And you guys, the conversation goes 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours of just to get the visual of people just in line to say, I have one question on how you did what you did, how you're teaching people to do what you're doing. And it's just something that puts me in a lot of gratitude. I see what's really happening. I see what's really happening. I think a lot of us don't know that we have a broken philosophy with wealth. And that's because it was ripped from us. And when it was ripped from us, lies were implanted instead. And so anytime there's a void, something comes to fill that void. And I believe what has happened is that the lies about wealth, assumptions about wealth, things that we believe that we don't even know why we believe about wealth have filled that void. And a lot of them are, people believing that to understand it, to create it and to manage it properly, that you have to be a certain type of person, that you're not just because of your existence, that somehow you're not qualified to understand or create wealth for yourself. I think there's a lie that we believe that only a certain type of person thinks about wealth, that it right away, there's assumptions we make about someone if they're wealth-minded, if they have wealth principles and philosophy. And I think that's a lie, a deep lie. And because we're all pretty good people, I believe people are good people. I see the beauty in humanity. I believe most of us are generally good people. And because we're good people and we want to be aligned with good things, unfortunately, the lies that we believe about wealth have separated us even further from wealth. So first there's the robbery. First there's the trauma, the taking of what's rightfully yours. And then there's further trauma by believing the lies associated with it. And so when I talk to people, can you believe that my biggest struggle is not getting them to see the strategies that we use and what we teach and how to apply it? That's not the hardest part at all, because it's simple. You understand what we do, simple. The hardest part is getting them to qualify themselves to even entertain a wealth conversation. And to me, that's just...
Yeah, I think because I know when I first started to hear, it's really just trying to take that risk on yourself, being just risk, because like we've, growing up, you kind of, it was just something that was known. Like if it was too much of a risk or it was too good to be true, it must be a scam. We've always been told that versus getting the understanding of something and really learning and digging deep, saying, you know what? Like, let me figure out what this really is, and thank God, for my friends who actually got in first. And she was like telling me stuff about it. And, I told a lot of people, I heard it clear as day saying, you know what, you want something different. in my spirit. Like you want something different, but you're not willing to do anything different because we always try to play it safe because safe is safe. And we feel like our minds, our brains tell us. I'm gonna say the physical part. Our brains tell us, do what's safe. But then we go into the mind part, into the spiritual part, and it's like, you know what? You have to have a little faith. You have to have, have to be in that place where like one of my motivational speeches say, where your feet hit the ground running, but it's only to gain momentum to take flight, and you have to be able to jump off that cliff. And listen, turbulence is the price we pay for flying high. Like we have to be willing to do that, and sometimes it is scary, but I think the reason why was more important than my scariness or than my fear of what if I don't make it, what if it doesn't work out for me. My why has always been my children. To make it a place where they can say, you know what, if I saw my mama, say, what, she put her mind to it and she went from here to there and not have to go to the street. Understand, we live in Louisiana, that especially with young Black boys, that if they don't feel like they have a place where not only that they're loved, but that they can succeed in, they will go to places. And I didn't want that for my kids. I'm like, not mine, not on my watch, not today, Satan. So I struggle with that because I was like, you know what, I have to keep doing it. And of course, we will throw up things where you're like, man, is this really for me, or is this working out for me? But thank God, like people like Wanda, when I tell you, like this great woman has knowledge, like man, like you kind of you take a place of humility of like, God, I thank you because someone like Wanda is willing to mentor me in this stuff. And let me just like whenever you first began, like when you first began, did you have that same fear? Because I know with the background that even you had, that you and Randy talk about, like did you have that same fear, and was it your why that actually pushed you past that fear?
So I love everything that you're saying. I'm just like taking notes because these are just common experiences that we have when we're in a new conversation like this. Of course, I had questions and fears in the beginning. Of course, like a lot of people, I want to play it safe. I don't want to put my money anywhere that's going to risk it. I really am even the person that I'm not really interested in how much I can potentially earn if the risk is great. And I think there's this assumption that anytime someone talks to you about multiplying your assets,
Yeah.
that right away, without any explanation, we just go, oh, that's risky. So here's what I believe. I believe that we don't know the facts. Here's the facts, okay? We are actually risk averse, which means that people that come from where we come from, have the experiences that we have, we're actually less likely to lose because we're so conscious of risk.
Yeah.
And the problem, here's the big issue, is that we don't know that we're already taking the greatest risk that exists right now. If you, like, I'm gonna just put it how I see it. If you are working for the US dollar, getting paid in the US dollar, keeping your money in a bank, keeping your money sitting in savings or something of that nature, spending your money simply to live. Maybe there's opportunity for investing, maybe there's not. And that's kind of repeat that, and that's what you're doing. You just don't know that there's options that I believe are better, that many people believe are better. You just don't understand that there are even people who would say that that's a very primitive way to use money. Now, what do I mean when I say that? The US dollar has only gone one direction. Can we just, like, if you've ever felt like these just can't be the bills my mama was paying, you're right. You're not crazy. The average home right now is $300,000 plus. You can go to, I'm gonna give y'all a bunch of things to research. I always tell people, don't believe anything I say. Don't you dare. Come on. You don't come from where I come from if you just believe when somebody tell you something. You don't believe anything I say, go research it. So I want to teach you how to look for information. Because if I teach you how to look for information, I won't have to beg you to advance yourself. So I go to usdebtclock.org. I want you to just look. usdebtclock.org. Okay. You can go there and see that the average person in our country is working for $35,000 a year, and that the average home is $300,000 plus. Those numbers don't make no sense. How are you buying $300,000? How are we buying $300,000 houses with $35,000 a year income? The answer is you're not. Okay. The other number to look up is just the total amount of debt. And they have it calculated per citizen. So congratulations, you owe about $200,000 off cuff. So when we look at the facts is the US dollar has only gone one direction, and that we're going to have less buying power. Michael Saylor, who is a CEO of a company that's getting a lot of attention right now, MicroStrategy, said that you can expect, this is $1 billion company, a top S&P 500 company, you can expect your cash to lose 75% of its buying power in the next 10 years. Now, let me ask you something. When a billionaire talks about money, do you believe him? I mean, if we can believe the people around us and they don't got billions, they don't got millions, they don't have thousands, then we can't believe when a billionaire is talking to his own company and to other billion-dollar companies, and he says to them that cash is going to lose its buying power in a decade. You don't believe that? What about your own experiences? You don't remember when gasoline finally went over $1? I think I was in middle school, high school. And I remember my daddy cussing at the gas tank, and he don't cuss. And he said, they finally did it. It's finally $1. It had been stuck there. It didn't come back down. And I just remember vividly sitting in the back of that beat up car with my brother, and my brother is just little. And I'm just thinking, why is he so mad? And now I get it. Things have only cost of goods and services have only gone up, and your money has only gone down. I mean, can we just talk about the fact that whatever you believe about minimum wage, it's $7.25 an hour right now. Come on. You can't even buy a foot long anymore. 10 years ago, a foot long was $5. Not anymore. A foot long is $7 and some change. You can't even buy a foot long anymore. So regardless of what you believe, you just got to be able to agree with me. When you look at money, you're like, yeah, this is kind of buying less and less. If you know that, then you will know economics. Okay. That's it. If you know that, you know economics. If you can agree, yeah, this don't buy as much. I remember when hot Cheetos, I would be walking out of middle school, give me some hot Cheetos, and they would be 25 cents a quarter. Girl, all you had to do was beg for a quarter after school from somebody. We were poor. So I was that girl, like, you got a quarter? Hey, Mike, you got a quarter? I didn't care. I was hungry, okay? So that was who I was. Oh, God is good. And so a quarter. And now when I go to the store, my kids see a bag of chips, and I'm like, is that 80 cents? Dang, I can't even beg for a bag of chips no more. That's how I look at economy. And a lot of you don't think you're an economist because you've been taught to depreciate your own experience. We're not going to go there. And so you think you're crazy. You don't ask no questions. You just get up and go to work for that same dollar every single day, and you don't ask the questions. Like, why is it so hard? Why do we both have to work now? Not why do we both need 2 jobs? Because things are just getting expensive. Okay, why are they getting expensive? Is it because we are all getting paid so much money? No, it ain't. Minimum wage, $7.25. It's because there's always a transfer of wealth. Wealth never disappears. It just transfers. And while it's been transferring, we've been sitting here looking at the dollar, watching the money transfer and not moving. Because I don't know, what if I lose what I got? You're already losing what you got. Yeah. Inflation's 3 to 11% per year. Come on. A lot of people like to say, oh, I'm a hustler, I make money. If you don't know money, you don't make money. You got to know money. Knowing real money is knowing you're losing 3 to 11% minimum, and that it's going to lose 75% of its buying power in 10 years. So if I told you that you could put a time freeze on your money, at best, a time freeze. Forget a time freeze. My money's growing. That's just my experience. I don't know what your experience is going to be, but I would ask the right questions. And here's what I get most passionate about. Because I'm watching the top performing companies come together. Tesla just bought 1.5 billion Bitcoin, y'all. Why? Why does he need to buy Bitcoin if he's in the business of selling something to make money? He just want to have it? No, because having Bitcoin makes him money. They're making money when they buy it. How are they making money, Wanda? Because every day what they have is getting worth more and more and more and more and more and more. And Bitcoin was $3,000 last year, and now we're about to break 50. Pay attention. And listen, I hood preach. And what I tell people is, you just think that God put you during the time of the internet and during the time of a great transfer of wealth where the dollar has no choice but to bend, and we could buy up what the banks are buying up when they're buying up without having to get permissions like an IPO, having to be a qualified investors, all the ways that they done squeezed us out of the wealth circle. And now we can finally go on our phone and go, I can buy some Bitcoin. Nah, I'll buy a bundle. What? What? Come on. And there's finally a walk out of Egypt, but let me tell you the problem. See, I told you to give me preaching, Shamika. Here's the problem. We're entitled now. We like our little lives. That's why when Jesus fed the 5,000, after they got fed, only 500 kept following him. Because we don't know how to stop. We don't know how to keep going once we get a little fed. We own houses now, Wanda. I got a little spending now. I got a little spending money. My credit score good. You asking me to take risks? I'm telling you that you just being able to live paycheck to paycheck is not the glory land, and that there's a transfer of wealth, and that what is the wicked is finally dispersing. Oh, don't believe me. I'm going to give you some more free resources. Go to YouTube and watch the rise and rise of Bitcoin. I don't want you to believe nothing I say. I want you to have confirmation, because the spirit of truth is going to do more for you and your money than I ever could. And what I'm telling you is that the people are moving. Hey, they moving. They're moving their money, Shamika. They moving it. They moving it. Heads up. Like, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Hey, look, you done said the sacred word twice. Now it can. Listen, look, my sister was up last night watching these videos and getting this knowledge. Tell them, as far as cryptocurrency, tell them, you said Bitcoin twice. For that, I do have a few people that I know really don't know too much about Bitcoin, because I'm trying to spread the good news. Look, that's some good news. I'm trying to spread it. Kind of explain to them exactly what they're looking at.
Okay. So something is only as valuable as you and I make it. Okay.
Yeah.
When we look at a house and we're like, okay, that house is 200,000. Well, somebody comes and offers 180, that house 180.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. If somebody comes and offers 230, that house 230. Yeah. We can speculate, but until the transfer of goods has happened, we don't know what something's worth. Money is actually only 100 years old, y'all. It was created in 1913. Okay. And when we started using money, we would be able to go work and get paid in that dollar, in that money. And this dollar represents our human labor transferred to someone and their appreciation for that human labor. Okay, it doesn't matter. I used to be a nurse. My gift of nursing, thank you for I've inserted my wealth and my value of nursing for 8 hours today. I will get paid back this, and I agree I'm worth that. And you are allowed to pay me back that, not in house, not in car, not in gold, not in silver. You can pay me back that in this piece of paper. And the reason I'm okay with that is because everyone takes this piece of paper. If you went to Target tomorrow and they said, we don't take US dollars, what would you do? This has happened. This happened in Greece. This happened in Cyprus not that long ago, where the banks had to take all the people's money and give it to the government for it to pay its debts and sustain itself, and they did it. Okay? So we give our value, they give us a note that's supposed to represent we can buy goods and services. A lot of people think it's backed by gold. No, sir. No, ma'am. Who told you that? Who told you that? What gold? No, fractional reserve banking. No. Basically, they fugazi'd it. Okay, that's what they did. So no, there's no gold. The value it has, my love, is because the fact that you wake up every day and work for it. The fact that you want it, the fact that you go spend it, the fact that they take it, that's what gives this note any value. All right, you with me? Well, there's some problems with the note. There's a lot of fees on the note. Banks hold our note. They make a lot of money off that note because when you have one note in your bank, you're allowed to lend out 9 imaginary notes. Are you allowed to do that? Imagine you called your bank and said, I'm going to treat every dollar like 9, because I think that's good for my household. That's what they do. They're allowed to do that. And they do that to loan to your family, your neighbors, your cousins, your everyone. And when they loan them money, what do those people do? They pay it back with interest. So there's a profit. When I loan you money, I get that back and some. But hey, that's my money bank. How much do I get? What do they give you every year? Like 4 cents, like 3 cents. I have a girlfriend who has $9,000 in an account. They gave her 60 cents for the year. Okay. So there's money to be made when they loan the money out, and they gave her 60 cents. So some people don't like that about banking. The other thing that people don't like about banking is that the US government is really, really, really in control of it. And if they don't like you or they don't like what you're doing, they'll freeze your bank accounts because they can. They'll just freeze it. But wait, that's my money. I worked for it. Well, okay. So they don't like that. That's called centralized. That means somebody got control. Okay. So they don't like that. They also don't like the fact that when the banks and the government are broke, they print more money. And why is that a problem? Well, if I have 10 apples and 1,000 people want an apple, I can sell those apples for a lot, right? But if I got 1,000 apples and 10 people, that's a big, basic, quick supply demand lesson right there, okay? That's what they're doing with money. The more they print, you guys, the less people will want to take, the less that, represents wealth. So we're still going to work for pretty much the same money we were 10 years ago. We're still giving the same amount of human value, but they're printing the money so much so that we're giving more value and getting paid less. Oh. And that's essentially what's happening with banking, which is making people like me say, I worked hard. I worked hard to get away from where I was. I sacrificed. My husband was a pilot. I was a nurse. We don't come from that. My husband's never seen a Black pilot before. He had a dream. I didn't know anyone who was in nursing in my family. No one pretty much hardly finished high school. And so we went and we worked. We bought some things and they grew in value, and that was awesome. And we had some businesses and that was awesome. And then we said, man, we don't know, but we think we're supposed to do something with this money besides spend it so we can stay rich. And that's when we got into real estate, and that's when we got into crypto, and it's worked. And it's worked. And investing works. And if you just look at the parables, what are you supposed to be doing with your goods? What are you supposed to be doing with your seed? You're supposed to be multiplying it. Why? Because naturally, it is the truth is that it goes down in value, and God wants you to be sustained. You're supposed to be a good steward with what you have. You're not supposed to be the borrower. You're supposed to be the lender. How are you going to lend when you don't got nothing extra? The fact that he calls you a lender, there is an assumption that you have overflow, that you have extra. And so, we just don't know the truth about money. That's why we're so scared to do things with it, because we don't know the truth is that as it sits in our hand, it rots. So Bitcoin is a way that I buy it and I go, this is cool. What can I buy with it? At first, nothing. And then more companies started saying, I'll take it. I'll take it. And we've seen $1.3 trillion going to I'll take it, the crypto market. And so now people are taking it. Well, if I can buy a plane ticket with Bitcoin, if I can buy a phone with Bitcoin, if I can buy all these things with Bitcoin and I'm not paying extra fees to do it, and it's just like money, and when I have it, sometimes it goes up. If I can do that, I'll put a little money there to see what happens. Wow, I like that. Let me put more. Wow, I like that. Let me put more. Wow, I like this. Now there's some value there, but it's not just overnight. The rise of Bitcoin, I would tell everyone, if this conversation interests you, it's not an accident. If there is a leaping in your belly, it is not an accident. There is a great transfer. And I feel like, Shamiko, what I can do to help my community and advance my community is I feel like I can continue to educate myself on the things that pull on me. And what pulls on me is how people can sustain, how there can be provision when there's just a little bit of education. The top 500 companies in America are making moves and they're doing things to increase their wealth. And I believe that every household should be doing the same thing.
Definitely. And you know what, that right there will even lead even to a call to action. Because understand, like Wanda just said, you know what? It isn't on accident that you ended up on here. You were meant to be on here, and to even hear this conversation. And what if, like we told you, hey, you don't have to do it alone. There are classes that are available. I mean, I want you to think about that. Whenever you want to further your education in nursing, you go to nursing school. If you want to become a doctor, you go to medical school. If you want to become a paramedic, you do the EMT thing. Then you become a paramedic. There's schooling that helps you further your education so you can be effective, right? And I don't know, but I want to be effective in financially in this season. That is one of my biggest things. I was like, you know what, one day when I hit it, I used to say this about the lottery, right? But I said, when the next three people behind me in Walmart, I'm gonna pay for their groceries. I'm gonna just be like, I got you, sis, I got you, bro. Just to be able to bless people. Like, that's what I wanted to do. My mom, we used to kind of joke about it, just joking. And so she would say, that she was like, man, I wish I could buy this one a house and this one a house. And it's just like have even to bless people, even to help people, get to the next level and then teach them how to do the same thing. But just realizing that in order to be effective in your community, or even in things you want to do, there is schooling involved in. I was able to connect with these beautiful people, with our family, to take these classes to help to teach me on what I thought before was foreign language, on what I thought before, this must not be true because I don't understand it. So now I can take these classes, and once I take these classes, I'm learning more and more and more. And there's always classes available. Like, I go look online and I'm like, man, I could take this at this time. I could take this at this time. So just being connected. And look, this is definitely that you're like, okay, if all these companies are getting into this, maybe if Tesla's getting into this, maybe it is something I need to look at, because the first time in the history of the world, the little people getting in first. It's amazing to me. It's
Yes.
amazing to me. So you really have to look at that, and say, you know what, I'm just gonna. I mean, education. Really, let me figure that. Let me find out. Okay, what is the education about? And just reach out, because the fact is, I want to succeed, but I want you to succeed too. Like, I want
Right.
everybody around me. That's my desire. Let's win. Like, let's go.
Yep.
Let's do this. So I just think it's amazing. And look, this sister queen right here, let me tell you, she is busy, y'all. And I'm just so grateful. Once again, Wanda, I want you to know, screen to screen, I want you to know how much I appreciate you, even for getting on this live, for jumping on this live with me, because
Absolutely.
it's about, I want my family to understand, and I say family, I'm talking about those folks that jump on my lives, that, always, that even go back and watch the replay. That's what I am, that are loyal. Relatives are those that are blood, but I'm talking about my family, and I want y'all to win just as much as I want to win. Like, I'm like, what, let's go, let's get this. And to hear about everything that's happening in this world as far as the financial transfer, I think is amazing, and I want you to be a part of it. So I thank you once again, Wanda, for jumping on with me. I appreciate that, Queen. I appreciate that so much. So
My
listen. Yeah. So do you have anything else to say before we, cut the live? Do you have anything else to say, sister?
There's just one final thing. I was the person that whenever I would see something, sometimes I would tell myself, like, I don't know, I feel a little uncomfortable. Like, that's God telling me, like, to not do it. And I would say things like, I don't know, my spirit's just like, this is new and I don't know about it. Listen, if the only time your spirit is disturbed is when an unfamiliar concept is presented to you, that's not God. Because there's a difference between my spirit is disturbed and my spirit is leaping. There's a difference between, I don't know, I just feel like I just have too many questions and I need more information. I need to make a sound decision here. Again, I'm not asking, I tell people, I don't want you to believe me. I want to be a vessel of confirmation to come and talk about the things you might have already been kind of having conversation about. And one thing I've learned, how one major way I've been successful is I stopped just saying, well, I felt like, or, my spirit said, and I start saying, God, bring me confirmation. Like, make it so evident. I need 2 or 3 people that aren't connected, and he'll do it. He will, because your faith demands that you need the message that way. God will provide. I'm a skeptic by nature. I've been hurt. I've been without. Running water and electricity was a luxury as a child. I know what it's like to risk it all and to lose for a long time. And for me, I'm just not going to listen to these conversations and go, wow, that was moving, that was cool, and then go another couple months and not take no action. Because good ideas don't go to waste. They just go to somebody else. The Bible's filled with people who didn't step into their purpose, and only their name and none of their journey. And so don't say, well, my spirit said. You got to really check what spirit that is, because sometimes my spirit was disturbed by something that was unfamiliar, that was going to stretch me, that was going to demand I be more, that was going to take me out of my comfort zone. And none of that's a bad thing. And so I just don't want people to be as stubborn as I was and to not wait as long as I waited, because it's not too late right now. And you're hearing this message before Bitcoin hits $50,000. I want to mark this time real quick. I've got my website up here. Bitcoin today, ladies and gentlemen, is $44,802. A year from now, Facebook will reshare this message to Shamika and I. And we're going to hear this, and we're going to see where it's at. Today in the year 2021, on February the 10th, Bitcoin is not something we actively use every day. We don't understand cryptocurrency, and we're still scared of it. Today, in this time where I live, in my time that I'm in, the newest phone is an iPhone Pro 12, I believe. And we are not using crypto in our everyday lives, and people are scared of it. And this message is to get people to be open to what's already happening about a digital future that's not inherently evil. Quit being weird Christians. I'm so y'all making our Jesus look so crazy bad. Y'all know that? I'm telling you, I'm like, why is, it's kind of like when women started getting an education and we call that unholy.
Yeah, I know that's right. Come on.
We have to just stop being the people that want to have an opinion about something God hasn't spoken to us yet about. And I believe that there's a transfer of wealth, and economically, I'm seeing the advantage for my community. And I believe that the timing is right, and that the smart people in the room are excited for a reason. And so I appreciate you, Shamika. I thank you. I don't ever take it for granted to talk to new communities about this, because 3 years ago, I didn't even know how to properly, understand my mortgage statement, really, the interest I was paying on it. I was embarrassed. I thought I was just not smart or not good with numbers, or that's just not my thing, or God just don't want me to know about that. If that was true, he wouldn't have referenced the Proverbs 31 woman's ability to make money that many times in one story. And so you're called to be an investor. You are called to take care of the women around you, and to take care of them, and to provide for their families as well. You're called to have more than enough. This ain't about being rich. This ain't about being dripped out or Gucci down. This is about the people around me can eat, because they're tired of hearing about my God. They want to see him. And they can eat when they come around me. There is a meal when they come around me. And that's all that is. So I appreciate your time. I have another call I'm getting on, and I'm so grateful for your coachability. I'm grateful that you took your time, that this is something you did pray about, that this is something you have been thoughtful about, because you bring validity to this space. And so I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. If you want to follow her social media pages, as you saw early, I did post that at one, I believe, and also on Facebook. You can look her up at Wanda. But listen, if you change your mind, you'll change your life. So if you change the way that you think, your life will forever change. But guess what? You're your only limitation. As I told you, this is your girl, Shamika Willis, also known as Lady Queen I Am, but you can call me Lady Queen. I love you guys, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.